Hi, I'm Syed Sajjad Raza Mahdi from Karachi, Pakistan. Today I'm going to speak about the power of failure. Now, the greatest example that we have is of Wright brothers, the inventors of the aircraft. Now, in 1900 and 1901, they failed twice. Their glider failed twice miserably. And then they had their competitor, Samuel Langley, who also made an aircraft. And then in 1903, Samuel Langley's aircraft also failed twice. So now it was a draw. The Wright brothers had lost twice, and the competitor, Samuel Langley, had also lost twice. But now the question was who was to give up and who was to learn from their mistakes. Samuel Langley eventually gave up, and then it was all in the hands of the Wright brothers. So they flew their aircraft again, and in 1903, the aircraft again failed. So now they had failed for 3 times. They had lost for 3 times, but their hopes had not been lost. Now, for 2 years, they sat and upgraded their aircraft. They scanned every inch, every bit of the aircraft, the architecture, the design, the controls, everything of the aircraft for 2 years. They learned from their mistakes, and then they rectified, and then they fixed the airplane. Now, who does that? After that, the airplane that had failed thrice successfully in 1905 had its first successful flight, and the first official practical airplane was made. Now, how many of you think that inventions, non-existent inventions like time machines and, say, animal translators can never be made? Raise your hands, please. Oh, that's a great amount of you who think that time machines cannot be made. Okay, let's just go back to some decades and think that was there a chance of flying in the air? Like before the Wright brothers, before, I'd say, Leonardo da Vinci, was there a concept of flying in the air? No, there wasn't. So today, why we get mistaken, why we think that things can be impossible is because people who try to do them may fail, and then they may say that these are impossible, and that's a great mistake that leads to failure. Now, in my student career, I've seen that there is a strong bonding in a teacher-parent role, in a teacher and parent, and there's a role that exists in a child's failure about them. Now, a teacher and a parent will always do 2 things. They should do 2 things. Number one is that they should always encourage the child, the student, to commit mistakes. And number two, that becomes compulsory now, is that you need to get the child encouraged to learn from the mistake. And this encouragement not only leads to the child accepting his mistakes, but it also leads to the child not getting failed again. But then again, no one's perfect, no one's unmistakable. You can fail again and again. Now, when you admit your own mistake, you have that sensibility that you will not fail and that you will not commit that particular mistake again. Now, Einstein, he admitted that his cosmological constant theory was wrong. He admitted that this was wrong because, there's nothing constant in this space. There are always changes and everything. Now, talking about mistakes are not only about your personal mistakes. Mistakes can be about the mistakes that, are done in the past by other people. And then mistakes can also be about the people whom you get inspired from. So I'd say I get inspired from my uncle. But there are some flaws, apologies, uncle, but there are some flaws in him that I'd not want me to have, so I just, 1,000 apologies. So, and then you can always refer to history books for mistakes that great leaders and conquerors did, why Alexander could not conquer India, why Bonaparte could never be a really successful conqueror. That's what wraps it up. And in the end, I'd just like you to ask yourselves, are you committing a mistake in not admitting and correcting your own mistakes? Thank you.